Mark Simpkins with, this is season 2. This is episode 3 of On the Engine. And actually, we are on the engine today. Game day with Carroll College in a couple of hours, and I have with me Jake McElroy, graduate of Missoula Loyola.
Yep.
2014.
Yep.
Okay. Came here and played for Western. Graduated in 19.
Yep.
In 2019. So, welcome.
Yeah,
Jake?
Thanks for having me. It's been a long time overdue, I guess.
Yeah.
Jake also does a Friday morning Good Morning Montana sportscast. Predicts all of the games for Friday and Saturday. How were you this week?
I haven't looked quite yet at the total, but last night didn't look so hot. It might have been my worst predictions since 2016. So, well, that's all right. It's week 1. What do you expect? You know?
Right. Season just getting started.
Yeah, season's just getting started.
You bet.
So Jake, just tell us a little bit about you. I mentioned you went to Loyola. Your dad was...
Yeah,
Coach?
Yeah. So I went to Loyola, graduated in 2014. Was very fortunate enough to play there, and ended up winning 2 state titles. Got recruited here to Dillon by BJ. Came here, fell in love with Dillon. Was here for 5 years, and it was a great experience. I moved to Superior after I graduated, and I'm teaching up there and coaching with my wife, and she's also teaching and coaching. And I try to get back to Dillon as much as possible. So, yeah, it's a great place, and I miss it a ton.
Well, we're glad that you can get back here once in a while. I know that you coaching the Superior team kind of makes travel back to Dillon a little bit tough, but we're glad you're here today.
Yeah.
This is going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day.
So, when you were recruited, how big was your recruiting class?
My recruiting class, I believe we had 46 or 47, somewhere in the high 40s that first year of that fall, and then we added a couple in the winter, but we ended with 13, I believe.
Yeah.
My senior year. But yeah, it was a big class. It was big.
That's kind of how it goes at the collegiate level. You get a lot of recruits from good players from around the state or in the Northwest, and after 4 or 5 years, you've whittled it down to those that get her done and finish.
Yeah, I think it's a huge commitment, and there's a lot more than to the football side, just in between the white lines. There's a lot more, your academics, getting good grades is a huge thing. Being involved in the community is a huge thing. And I think sometimes it's hard to balance it all. And it takes a special person, I guess, to really balance it all and be involved, in the program itself and invest your time. But at the end of the day, it's the greatest thing that I ever did. And I would do it all over again. I miss it every single day. Even driving down here today was a 4-hour drive, but it was so worth it. And pulling up to Jason Ferris's house, we played together, and it was like, everything was we didn't leave off on a bad note or anything. It was just like, we're in the locker room again together. So, you definitely created a really good bond, and, finishing out is huge.
Well, that's awesome.
You touched on it a little bit, that the difference maybe between going from high school to the collegiate level, and that there's a whole different commitment level to getting there. So it is a lot different trying to balance all of your academics. You're accountable to the team, to your academics, to the community.
Yeah.
So it's it is, and it's funny because in high school everyone seems to be that star when they go to college, and then when you get to college, then it's 90 to 100 guys on the roster that are all good in high school. So you really got to put in that extra time to be successful. And sometimes you have a role that maybe it's not your ideal role, but you got to go with it because every team has a certain player, and you got to have a certain role, and that's how you're successful. If everyone can buy into that, that's what's huge. And then if you don't get good grades, you don't play. Right. And there's also a life outside of football, so that's the biggest thing I think to understand.
Could you maybe explain to the Bulldog Nation what you learned as a football player and how at Western that really applies to life outside of?
Yeah, I think, at Western, it was a huge thing for me was mental toughness and being able to be mentally tough. We did a lot of challenging things, and the coaches were really good at pushing us, but also understanding how to balance, schoolwork with Saturday games, with practices, with getting your homework done, going to class, and now every single day in the teaching world, it's just the same. And there's nothing that's ever going to faze me, and I really thank football for that. Being on time, I still show up 25 minutes early to every single thing, even though I don't need to.
There you go.
But in college, it's how it was. If you're not 25 minutes early, you're really late, So it's still stuck with me, and I still get up early. It's kind of built into my day-to-day routine, and with college football, and that really helps me out in the long run for sure.
So Engine 18 was established when you were still going to college.
Yep.
Could you maybe talk about a little bit about what Engine 18 has done for the athletic programs and maybe the student body as a whole?
Yeah, so my senior year was the first year Engine 18 was actually set and trying to get stuff going, and I won a scholarship, the MJ Simpkins scholarship, and it meant something really strong to me, and it was huge, and what Engine 18 was doing meant a lot to me, and I think it meant a lot to the community, and what Engine 18 has done since then is just tremendous. I mean, if you look around, it's hard to see right now, but if you look around, there's so many people here supporting Engine 18 and supporting the Bulldog football, and I really think, my first year of college, this wasn't really the atmosphere of the tailgating and Engine 18 and all that stuff, and now I think it's just big, and it gets more and more people here, and it's just a really good feel, and what they do for the community itself is unbelievable, and it's priceless.
All right. Well, thank you. I have a few quick questions for you. Favorite food?
Favorite food, gyros.
All right.
Favorite music?
Favorite music? I'm probably, I like all music, but I'd say country.
Favorite outdoor activity?
Fly fishing for sure.
There we go.
Yep, for sure. That's kind of a big part why I came to Dillon too.
Okay.
And how about your favorite football?
Favorite football team? Well, NFL, I like the Vikings, unfortunately.
Yes, Vikings.
But the Vikings are good. College, I go Oregon Ducks, and then obviously, Western Bulldogs.
All right.
So, Keith Handlos would usually ask this question. Biggest rivalry for you when you were in college?
Montana Tech for sure. Montana Tech for sure. I think because it's been my freshman year when AJ Wilson and those guys were seniors. We played for the conference championship up there, and that was quite the atmosphere. And I think ever since then it was just, you don't like Tech, and it's always been like that. I don't think I'll ever wear anything that has copper and green in it in my entire life.
Well, Jake, I appreciate you taking the time to visit with us, and you should catch his sports broadcast Friday mornings on Facebook or Instagram.
Yep, it's on Facebook and Instagram now, and we got some merchandise. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
And go Dogs.
We're not going to be here forever, and you want to leave it better than you found it.